To Colombia now, which has just sworn in its first leftist president, marking a shift from many years of conflict. The inauguration of Gustavo Petro, a former guerrilla fighter, is being hailed as a historic day for Colombia. The new president aims to revitalise peace talks with rebel groups which have been fighting the government for 6 decades. Petro is also promising to fight inequality and bring in environmental reforms.
It's an inauguration like no other in Colombia's history, and it's marked many firsts.
I swear to God and promise to the people to faithfully comply with the Constitution and the laws of Colombia.
Gustavo Petro is the country's first leftist president and the first former guerrilla fighter to lead Colombia. His election mirrors a transition in politics sweeping across Latin America, one that is more left-leaning, one where those elected are a reflection of the people who put them in office. This is a day when we see ourselves represented, and the fight for social equity is won, that equity that we all aim for and have fought for so many years. And Colombia's second highest office holder represents a victory for social equity. I swear to God and the people to faithfully fulfill Colombia's constitution and laws. I also swear before my ancestors that dignity will be shared by all. Vice President Francia Marquez is an environmental activist and former housekeeper. Today she makes history as the first Afro-Colombiana to hold her post.
It's the beginning of a new era in our country. Finally, Colombia made the decision, and today Gustavo Petro and Francia Marquez are going to govern Colombia.
I'm happy to see the inauguration of our president, Gustavo Petro. What happiness! I can't contain it. The happiness is great. The pair have a big agenda and big challenges ahead. Half of Colombians live in poverty. The Petro Marquez platform includes ending hunger, establishing environmental reforms, and bringing peace to the country after 60 years of armed conflict. It's an agenda full of promises to help regular people, but running for office and holding it are very different. Now voters will learn how President Petro will lead once the dreams on the campaign trail give way to the realities of governing.
And DW correspondent Johan Ramirez is outside Congress in Bogota, where the inauguration has now taken place. Johan, hi there. This is being hailed as a really historic turning point in Colombian history. Could you tell us a bit more why?
It is a major change, and even the ceremony that just took place behind us in this main square of Bogota, this ceremony was full of symbolism to show that change. For example, the president didn't walk over the traditional red carpet, something that every president before him had done before. His transition team invited all the population, general citizens, to take to the streets to be part of this ceremony. This event was usually just for politicians, for the political elite. Today, since the beginning of the day, we saw thousands of people taking to the streets to be part of this ceremony. But beyond the symbolism, this is a major change. This is the first time that a leftist president takes power in Colombia, and this is also the first time that a former guerrilla fighter takes power in Colombia. Let's remember that this country went under a horrible civil war which lasted more than 50 years, which took the life of more than 260,000 people. And at some moment back in the 80s, Gustavo Petro, today's president, was part of one of those guerrilla groups fighting a war against the state. So for many people, the fact that now he becomes president means that Colombians have learned how to deal with their problems in peace and through democratic means.
It's clearly an occasion that means a lot to a lot of people. Now, Gustavo Petro is inheriting a long list of problems, some of which you hinted at there. He's promised to tackle them. What's his top priority?
The top priorities of his agenda must be curbing poverty and inequality. As he is the first leftist president in the history, there are huge expectations that he can tackle those historic social problems, and he has to work on those issues very quickly. Actually, it is expected that tomorrow, his first day in office, his administration will present a tax reform bill in Congress in order to bring equality to the country. He needs to present short-term solutions to the population in those two issues, poverty and equality.
Okay. Johan, just quickly, if you could, by Petro's side will be the country's first ever Afro-Colombian woman vice president. Could you tell us a bit more about her?
She is the first vice president, Afro-American vice president. She is a single mother. She's a victim of the war. She had to leave her hometown because of the war. So in many ways, she represents many things that Colombian women live every single day. And that's why she has been so popular here among the population.
Okay, just quickly, what's her name?
Francia Marquez. Francia Marquez is the name of the new vice president of the country.
Okay, that was our correspondent Johan Ramirez reporting from Bogota. Thank you, Johan.